And welcome to lesson 7-8. Today we're adding mixed numbers. Previously we estimated sums and differences of mixed numbers. Today we're actually going to add to get the exact answer. Our solve and share on page 297 says Joaquin used 2 types of flour in a muffin recipe. How much flour did he use in all? Use what you know about adding fractions. Show your work. So we look for our flour. We have wheat flour and we have buckwheat flour. How much flour did he use in all? Got 1.5 cups and 1 2/3 cups. We're not estimating. Remember, we are finding an exact answer. We know that adding mixed numbers is similar to adding fractions and then adding the whole numbers, so we need to find a common denominator. 2 and 3, 2 times 3 is 6. They're not multiples of one another, so we just multiply them together. 1/2 is the same as 3/6 because we know that 2 times 3 is 6 and 1 times 3 is 3. 2/3, 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So our 1/2 becomes 3/6, our 2/3 becomes 4/6. We add our whole numbers back in there. I actually like to write it up and down so that you can see. You would add your fraction part, then add your whole number part. So 3/6 plus 4/6, 3 plus 4 is 7. And 6, and 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 and 7, 6. Now, if I look carefully at my fraction, 7/6, 6/6 equals 1 whole. So I have 6/6 plus 1 more 6. So I'm going to simplify my answer and change that 7/6 into 6/6 plus 1/6. My 6/6, my whole, comes over. We add it to the 2 to make 3. And I have a 6 left over. So that's how much flour he has in all. How is adding mixed numbers with unlike denominators the same as adding fractions with unlike denominators? Well, it's the same because you have to find a common denominator before you can add them. And it's different in that you're not finished when you add those fractions. You also have whole numbers to add. All right, turning to page 299. I believe, how is adding mixed numbers like adding fractions and whole numbers? This is similar to the question we just answered. But adding mixed numbers is adding fractions and adding whole numbers all in one. So you need to do both to add mixed numbers. All right, we're going to go over to do you know how, 3 through 6, estimate, and then find each sum. So we're doing what we did in our previous lesson. We're first estimating, and then we're going to find the exact sum. So 1 7/8. Our estimate for 1 7/8 would be 2. 1 1/4 is 1. So our estimate is going to be 3 because we're adding. 2 plus 1 is 3. In order to add these mixed numbers, again, we need a common denominator, which they've found for us is 8. 7/8 is not going to change. It's still 7/8. 1/4 becomes 8 by multiplying by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So now we're adding 7/8 plus 2/8 to get 9/8. And 1 plus 1 is 2. Again, 9/8 is an improper fraction. It means more than 1. 8/8 is a whole. We could take 8/8 away, make that whole. 2 plus 1 is 3, and have 1/8 left over. So either of those answers are the correct answer because they are the same. This is a simplified answer. estimating 2 2/5 to be 2. Oh, we compare that first. Let's go back to number 3. Is our answer similar, or I mean close to our estimate? Yes, we are correct. Okay, back to estimating number 4. 2 2/5 rounds to 2. 5 5/6 would be 6. So we're adding 6 plus 2 would be 8. Let's see what happens over here. We've got a common denominator of 30. 2/5, 2 times 6 is 30. So 2 times 6, I'm sorry, 5 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 6 times 5 is 30. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 plus 12 is 37. Add our whole numbers. If we want to change this into a mixed number because it's an improper fraction, we take away 30 30ths to add another whole to give us 8 whole. We have 7 left over, 7 30ths. All right, 4 1/9, that's 4 1/3. That would round, so our estimate is going to be 5. 4 1/9, 1 1/3. We need to change this one to ninths. And this one stays the same because it's already ninths. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. We add our numerators to get 4 ninths. Our whole numbers 4 plus 1 is 5. And 4 5/9 is close to our estimate of 5. 6 5/12 is almost 6 1/2, but not, so that's going to be 6. 4 5/8 is a little bit more than 4 1/2, so that goes up to 5. So our estimate's 11. When we go to add these, we need a common denominator between 8 and 12. If we do our multiples, we find that 24 is going to be our common denominator. 2 times 12 is 24. 5 times 2 is 10. Bring down our whole number. 8 times 3 is 24, so 5 times 3 is 15. We add our numerators. 10 plus 5 is 25. 24. 4 plus 6 is 10. Again, if we were to simplify, we take away 24 24ths, or a whole. That gives us 11. We have 1 left over. Our simplified answer would be 11 24ths. 11 1/24, whereas 10 25 24ths is what we got when we added the fractions. Our estimate was 11, so yes, we are correct. Okay, you're going to do 7 through 18 even again, and 23 and 24 on the back.